partner. A lot of y'all know him. Tom and I are working early, trying to catch night hunters. We've already getting a few complaints. We cooled off. And so we were scheduled to meet at a certain spot, certain time. As usual, I'm late. I'm usually a late fella. I did make it to this. My wife had me pegged right. She said, "You're going to do what you love today. You're going to eat and talk." That's right. I was here on time for this, but usually I'm not on time for those meetings. So, as it turned out, I was en route to meet Tom. He was already set up in a location in a field there. And on the way, about halfway there, I heard some radio traffic from a fireman. A volunteer fireman comes over the radio, county radio, and he's in pursuit of what he said was a night hunter. Somebody shot there in his yard, basically. So, got the direction of travel, and just as it looked out, I was in the neighborhood. So, I started talking to him directly and got the vehicle description, and, told him I was coming his way. I'm going to be meeting you head on. We're coming. And my partner, he proceeds to follow along. He's coming too. So I make my way and keep listening to him, and I finally get to an oil well location, and here sits my guy that's running, my volunteer fireman. He's running these people into this oil field. Well, there's no way out of that oil field. So I'm thinking, man, this is a good deal. I got y'all now. I'm going to wait till I get my partner here, get the deputies here. Don't have any problem. So I'm sitting there talking to this fireman. And about that time, over the hill comes this vehicle. So he's coming out. Well, I started in after him, flipped my blue lights on. He turned off on another side of the road. Still, there's no way out. So I'm confident I've got it. So I go in after him. He gets to the end of the oil well, spins around. We come nose to nose. Well, when you come nose to nose at midnight, and you've already been accused of shooting in my yard, when I come out, I'm pointing a gun at you. So, when I got nearly to the cab of him, I'm pointing a gun at him. You got a driver. You got two people in the back seat. Nobody in the front seat and passenger. Well, that's a little concerning to you. You know there's supposed to be somebody in that seat. Well, where are you at? So, get the driver out. Go to explaining life to him. Some people are harder to explain life to than others. I know there's another man or woman that was sitting in that seat, and where's it at? You know what you're talking about. This is kind of where the God thing comes in that she referred to, or the deputy saying that I'm around a lot like God. I have been here a long time. Everybody does know me. I've got a reputation of somewhat, a lot of people don't like me, but I'm pretty efficient at what I do sometimes. And this particular time, I told this gentleman, the driver, I said, "Look, I don't know you. You don't know me, obviously." I said, "I'm going to find whoever this was. Y'all are going to jail." I said, "That's all there is to it." I said, "You might as well, give up." I said, "I've been here a long time." I said, "I'm telling you." He looked at me, he just wasn't too concerned about my threat, basically. And I said, "Look," I said, "Is that truck you driving yours?" "Yes, sir." I said, "Is it paid for?" "Yes, sir." I said, "Well, good deal." I said, "Well, we'll be driving it before long, and you will be hooked." And I said, "You better be telling me." Well, he wouldn't, he's not going to tell him. I've never made it to past the front of this vehicle because, I've got three people. I've still got no backup there. I've not made it any further. My backup arrives. At that point, my partner, Tom Pointfield, he goes up to the vehicle. You've got four deer in the bed of the truck. Tom asked me, he said, "Joe, you seen what's in the bed of the truck?" I said, "I haven't made it that far." He said, "There's 4 deer in the back of the truck." I said, "Well, okay, guys, y'all, all of y'all are under arrest. Call me a wrecker. We're finna haul this truck off." And, I'm still concerned about where's this guy go. still somebody out here. So finally kind of split them off, and we get to talking, and one of them volunteers that there was somebody else in here. Now you've got 2 empty gun cases, you got no gun, you got an empty seat. You know, so I'm worried at my point in time, I'm worried, is that guy out there gonna shoot me or whatever? And finally get a name of this person. Well, name doesn't mean anything to me at the time, but I holler out through here, I know he's in hearing distance of me, you know, and I said, look, may take all night, we're gonna get you tonight. It's gonna be cold out here tonight, won't you just come on out, I know your name. And by this time, I already had ran check on him, I knew where he lived in Louisiana, he lived by the sheriff in Louisiana. I said, we know everything, we know where you're at. I said, don't waste our time, come on out. Of course, no response. Some more deputies get there, and one of the individuals that we had in custody leaned over and whispered, and one of the officers said, I think he's right out there. I think I just heard him out there. Pointed in the direction of where this guy was. Well, deputy and my partner stepped out there, and then you hear this big rustle of the dang bushes, and here they go. They're after him. And you know, you're in the dark. It's a thick mess off of this old cutover. They don't catch him, he gets away. Well, I holler at him some more. I said, look, I'll give up, we're gonna get you for tonight. No response. We load the 3 up, get a record hook on the truck, go to jail, process them, take all their photographs, process the truck, and get our evidence, take the deer, give them to some people that needed the deer meat. And by this time, you know, this all started, 9:30 at night or whatever. You know, this is over in the morning then, 2:30, 3 in the morning. I'm on my way home, and I thought, what's to it? I'm gonna go by there one more time, just see if he might stumble out the road. You know, he's a long ways from home. He's from down at Dixie Inn, other side of Dixie Inn, actually. So he's a long ways from home. What I found out over the radio through the dispatcher were he was a convicted felon. Okay, so there I had my reason for why the gun's gone, why he's gone. He's a convicted felon. He don't want to go to jail for being in possession of power. So I make my little drive back down through this road, and I meet a Louisiana vehicle. Well, it's 2:30, 3:30 in the morning. It's not against the law to drive down the road, but here's a Louisiana tagged vehicle in the area, one person in it, and my thought was, well, probably coming to pick this guy up. He's probably got a cell phone. And so I turned around and followed the vehicle. Well, didn't take long. He ran off the road, ran off the road, ran off the road. Probable cause says I can stop. I put the blue lights on him, I stopped him. Walked up to a guy, he's nervous he could be. Sir, how you doing? What are you doing out so late? This is my time of morning. He said, sir, I ain't gonna lie to you, I got a friend that's running from y'all, and he said, down here to you. And I said, well, sir, I said, where's he at? He said, I was on the phone with him a while ago, you just passed him, so he jumped off in the ditch. I said, all right, well, get him back on the phone and let me talk to him. So he called him up on the phone, hands me the phone. As soon as I say hello, I'm expecting him to hang up. I quickly said, this is Joe Owen, I'm a game warden, don't hang up, just listen to me for a minute. So I go talk to him. And I said, look, man, I know who you are, I know where you live. I said, we know everything about you. I know you're a convicted felon. I know you're in a bind here. I said, but, it's not going to get any better. It's just like the TV show. We're going to hunt you down. Eventually, why don't you give up? You got kids, you got a wife. And so we're just having a conversation, Goes on for several minutes. And we get down a little more personal, he don't want to go to jail. And I told him, I said, man, he want me to promise him he won't go to jail. I said, you going to jail. You're going to jail. I can't promise you that. But he's concerned about the felony charge. Well, the game and fish, we're interested in misdemeanor charges. We catch people that are felons, and we catch, people that have done things wrong, but our primary job is misdemeanor violation. And so I could honestly tell him that I was not going to pursue felony charges. But what he didn't know was that I didn't have to. The county would do it. I told him, I said, "Sir, all I'm interested in is giving you a ticket for night hunting and running from me. That's all I'm interested in. That's it." I said, "As far as I'm concerned, you pay that, you free to go." I said, I don't care." And he said, "Well, you're not gonna beat me up." "No, sir, I'm not gonna beat you up." "You're not gonna let anybody beat me up." "No, sir, no, sir, we don't do that. Nobody's gonna beat you up." I said, "If you give up, I'm gonna take care of you." He said, "Well, I'm cold. I want a cigarette." I said, "Well, I don't smoke." He said, "Would you get me a cigarette before you handcuff me?" I said, "I will." So, with that, he told me where he was. Called deputy comes. He gets him before I get there. When I get there, they're standing outside talking. He's not handcuffed. The deputy smoked. I can't even remember which one it was. One that hadn't been working with. Anyway, got to talking to the boy. I knew he looked familiar, but I still couldn't put two and two together who he was. Asked the deputy for a cigarette, give the boy a cigarette, let him smoke it. Okay, now, handcuffed him, no problem. Loaded him up in the car, took him to jail. Get him to jail, processed him, left there. I'm feeling good. I've completed the case as far as I'm concerned. I've done a good deal. Over the next few days, then the truck comes into play. We've got all four of these people locked up. 3 of them bonded out. The last one I caught couldn't bond out because he was a felon, and they won't press charges against him. So over the next few days, the people that actually own the truck, they're contacting, wanting the truck, wanting the items out. So, and I told them, you're not getting the truck. I said, we're hanging on to the truck to a court, And I said, then it'll be up to the judge. If the judge wants it, I said, we're asking for it. I said, it's paid for, we're asking for it. Y'all run from me, you shouldn't run from me. Kill 4 of my deer. I said, you come from Louisiana down here and kill our deer. I said, then you want to run all over the country. We're asking for all of it. And, ended up, they wanted personal items. They needed personal items. And, and I give in, and I said, okay, I'll meet y'all and get some of these personal items out. I shouldn't have. I should have talked to Mr. Butler before I did, because, I got griped out with Mr. Butler after that for allowing that without talking to him. But anyway, I did. I let them get these personal items out, and while we're talking, one of them said, "You know who this guy is, don't you?" We're talking about the one still in jail. I said, yeah, whatever his name was, yeah, it's so-and-so. And they said, yeah, you've arrested him before. I said, when? He said, I don't know, something to do with shooting a dog. I said, oh my gosh, I remember him now. The boy 10 years prior had shot a dog on Highway 160. Miss Haynes, I believe it's Haynes, not sure of the name, but anyway. He and 2 other gentlemen had been night hunting, had shot a lady's dog on her porch. And luckily that night, the deputy was out, called me, and I arrested them for night hunting. They had killed a deer prior to shooting the dog. They just shot the dog for me. Well, it turns out this is that boy. He has not learned anything. He's from Louisiana, he comes down here, and this is a repeat, event. So anyway, as time goes along, the case got transferred from district court to circuit court. And Mr. David Butler done a great job, worked hard on it. And like I said, in the history of me working, I've never had a judge seize and actually take many things from anybody. I hadn't tried anything. But on this particular occasion, we had a good truck. We had people, we wanted to make a point. We don't want to have that kind of stuff going on in here. And Mr. Butler pursued it. And we seized that truck, the 2009 Dodge diesel pickup, 70,000 miles on it, club cab, nice vehicle. Seized the guns. County got all of it. Danny Fish didn't get it, the county got it. through plea agreement, that's the way we work. The boy stayed in jail for nearly a year before he got out. During that time, I interviewed him several times. We had a pretty good relationship going. You know, he thought it was kind of humorous that he'd been caught twice by him. And of course, I thought it was kind of humorous. After we got to talking, he felt like that his compadres with him had kind of sold him down the river. And of course, you know, we can tell them whatever we need to tell them, kind of. I mean, it sounds bad, but you can kind of tell a person that you can lead them down the path you want them to go. And I didn't disagree with him when he made the comment that he thought those other people had sold him down the country. I was, well, you know, what can I say? I said, man, if you got something on them you'd like to share, go ahead. So he proceeds to tell me about this same crew. I keep hitting the microphone, I'm sorry. Same crew. Usually I'm walking around when I'm talking, y'all. I get a little nervous up here. I'm slinging my hand. But he led me down the path that they had gone night hunting numerous times. He could give me dates. He could give me the exact places that Louisiana officers had chased him. And I thought, man, this is pretty good, you know. So I contacted Louisiana officers, we have them come down, interview them, and sure enough, they know these places. They know some of these times that they've been in pursuit of a vehicle that matched what they were driving. So armed with that, they ended up going and interviewing these people. They ended up making an arrest on them in Louisiana. They ended up making an arrest off of the same boy's information of a illegal dove hunt that they went on, a baited dove hunt out of state. So it ended up with it just mushroomed into this huge case, and it was very satisfying. I've been, you know, I enjoyed it immensely. It sounds really ugly, I guess, when y'all think, you know, we enjoy catching people, but that's what you're hired to do. You know, I'm hired to catch people. I'm not real good at paperwork, may not be real good sitting there talking, but I'm pretty good at catching people. If I get it on my mind to catch somebody, I can usually catch them. And that's pretty much the end of that story, and I can tell you stories until I turn blue in the face and y'all fell over here. But how much time have I got left?
Just enough time for questions, Mr. Owen.
Y'all got any questions?
We do.
Any questions from anybody? I'll answer anything I can.
Do any of these guys ever just shut up and don't say anything?
Once in a while you'll have one that just not, he's just not gonna cooperate. And when you get one, don't, you know, you just give up on him and go on about your business. You know, write him a ticket and go on. But most of them will end up talking. And some of them, as far as night hunters and heavy violations, they may not say anything until they go to jail. And they're all tough usually until they go to jail. Just like the shows y'all see on TV, it usually is a real rude awakening to actually get there. And you know, Columbia County is a mild place to be, but it would be a rude awakening for anybody, any of us in here to have to go with that. You know. So,
You got some decoys that y'all set up sometime at night.
yes, sir.
Tell us the funniest situation there,
I've got so many of those, and I love them. I love to tell those. Well, one of those particular ones, I guess, that was very funny was, used to I'd work it by myself. Now you can't. Policy says you gotta have 2 officers and everything. Used to I'd work it. When I worked with Ricky Barnes, I worked by myself most of the time. It's hard to do this, set this deer up, be close enough to it, to work it, control it, keep it from being stolen. College kids want to steal your decoy. So, but anyway, I've done it a lot of times, especially in daytime. And this particular day, I had set up on a highline right away. Had a one-way. Usually you want a two-way, you know, where you got traffic either way. He can see my deer and shoot. But this particular one, since I'm by myself, I set it up on a high line. If you're going down this county road and you look off your left, you're looking up a hill, there's high line. Great place to set decoy, got a perfect backstop, can't shoot anybody. And it made a perfect place for me set it up. Believe it or not, by myself, I caught 12 bunch different people on this same deal. But one of them that was really funny, or humorous to me, and I hope the gentleman's not in here. If you are, I'm sorry, because I can't remember you. But anyway, I'm sitting there with this decoy, and I hear a vehicle coming, and he's hauling junk iron or something on the trailer. You can hear him, man. He's gonna rattle down the road he comes. He gets to that high line, and he sees, you hear him, he lets off. And sits there for a minute, doesn't shoot, drives on off, rattle, goes up the top of the hill, there's a turnaround. He comes back by it. Pause, trying to see it, and it's the wrong angle, we can't see it. So he goes way down the road, he's pulling a 16-foot trailer, let's turn it around, come by again. Went up top of the hill, turned around, and come back. Done it again. And I'm thinking, surely the Lord, he's figured out that it's a decoy, But no, he didn't. He keeps coming, he passes the point where I want him to shoot. You've always got a point you want them to shoot from. He comes on up where I'm at, and I'm directly across from him. I've got a little driveway, my truck's hid in, and then I'm out with this remote control that moves the deer. He comes up even with me, parks his truck, gets out with a Browning shotgun. One of them A5, old Browning, whatever. They're terrible on decoy. You don't shoot it with a high-power rifle. Don't shoot it with buckshot. I had a pretty decoy. I had a new pretty decoy. He was majestic. He was pretty. And so I'm confident I'm going to stop the man before he shoots. He gets out of the truck, and he does the Elmer Fudd sneak, goes down the ditch. I come out, and I walk up to the bed of his truck. And I lean over that truck with this remote control like a kid flying an airplane. And I turn the old deer to look at him. He raised the gun up. Just as he's fixing to shoot, I said, "Hey, game warden." Look back. Boom! I said, "Hey, game warden, stop." He looked so confused, he just couldn't believe that this thing was, and it's the story is people get tunnel vision, and that's the deal with a decoy. They've got tunnel vision, they forget about everything else. And that's the safety issue of this shooting from the road anyway. We're trying to stop you from shooting from the road because you don't know what's out there, who's out there. A guy gets that mentality, he's going to shoot something, he forgets everything else. That's all he's seeing is that deer. He didn't more see me than the man in the moon. Did he hit it? He didn't injure it, I'll put it that way. He was too far, he didn't injure it.
What law did he break?
He shot from the road. He shot from a county road, which you can't shoot from any state federally maintained road. And all he done was got in the ditch. He never left the roadway. Now, if he had put his orange on, and he'd have slipped on out there and got, further enough away from the roadway, he'd have still been trespassing. He was on another person's lease, but, I probably wouldn't have done anything to him.
He didn't shoot a deer.
But, sir,
He didn't shoot a deer.
he shot a very good substitute of a deer. A representation of a buck deer that looks good. And if y'all don't think that people will shoot a deer, I'm bending down so if anybody can't hear. I've had this deer, not this one's a beautiful deer, but I've had one that I made on the old El Dorado Highway, shot at 9 steps with a guy with a scope, with his headlights on. So they look good. Don't be confused. They look good. And I know I'm running out of time, but I got to tell you, that one on the old El Dorado Highway, gentleman come in, he's done just perfect what I wanted. I'm by myself. He stops where I want him to. He doesn't shoot. He gets, he screws his headlights on. It doesn't get it. He pulls on up a little more, gets a little closer. He stops, sits there a minute, still not close enough. He pulls on up into the driveway of this old yard that I've got it in. Door opens, squeaky hinge, gun comes out, I've walked up behind him. I'm already behind him. He's by himself. You can see in the vehicle, he's by himself. I'm behind him several feet. He's propped in the doorway. The little old deer's looking at him helplessly. He doesn't shoot. He sits there, he sits there, he sits there. I thought, well, he can see. It's got a welding rod through his neck. He can see it. He did. He pulled the gun in. I thought, he's figured it out. I'm thinking he put the gun in and drive off. No, he pulled the gun in, comes around the door. 9 steps. I turned the little deer at him, flipped his tail. Boom! He shot. And it looked like Christmas. It looked like it was snowing. The styrofoam. It just rained down. You would think a man by himself, he knows he's breaking the law. It's at night. He's the only human in the world, he thinks. I slept right up behind him here. I said, did you hit him? And most people would have dropped dead. I was that heart attack right there. He said, I blew his lungs out. Yes, sir, you did. You're